Hi all. Hello all. I'm doing a quick video. For breakfast, time is short, so I want to be able to go and do kind of a grab and go kind of breakfast where people can just be able to slice it and be able to take it with them wherever they're going, either to school, work, or wherever it is that people are going, so they can be able to start the day off right. What it's basically going to consist of, we're going to cook in this. It's going to consist of eggs, cheese to cover it. I have a cup and a half of sausage here, and what I'm going to do a video on this as well. I'm going to plan on doing grab and go sausage, basically so you can be able to cook meals very quickly. But this is a cup and a half. It's the Jimmy Dean kind. And I have some kale powder here. I have a video already out on me making collard powder. The kale powder you basically make the same way. So until I get my kale powder video out, you can go ahead and just look up collard powder. J. Witten 31 collard powder, and you should be able to find it. But this is basically what it consists of, so let's go ahead and get started. This right here I took out of the freezer. It's already starting to break down some, but if you get it straight out of the freezer, go ahead and just pop it in your microwave and put it on defrost. But if you know you're planning on making this the day before, go ahead and just take it out the freezer so it can thaw out in the refrigerator, and you can be able to just have it so it's ready. This is going to go by fast, so let me go ahead and put it in the microwave for about 3 minutes to defrost it. I didn't have to defrost it. It broke up pretty easy. On my way to the microwave, I was pressing on it and it all broke apart. So that's basically done. So again, if you could take it out the night before so it could be nice and crumbly and ready, it's perfect. It'll go pretty fast. So what I'm going to do is set your oven for 450, because I like for it to cook faster. So I go ahead and I set the oven for 450. I cook it for around 17 minutes. Now for your altitude, you may need to cook it higher. I'm at a higher altitude, so I cook it for less time. So you may want to check on it after 15 minutes of cook. You can look at the inside. If the milk is not the milk, but the egg is going to be the determining factor to see when it's done. If there's still milk, obviously, or not, I keep saying milk. If there's eggs still not cooked in there, then obviously it's still not done. But for me, it's done at around 17 to 18 minutes. I check on it, and sometimes it goes to 20 minutes. So again, just check on it. But we'll get to that. There's another important ingredient that I forgot to talk about that I'm planning on using. Hash browns. I also put this in it as well. It's a 2-pound bag. I only use half of it. Another thing, I have the oven at 450. It's heating up. It's preheating. I have my Vitamix here. I did a dozen eggs I have in here. If you want to use more eggs, you can. It'll be more eggy. If you want to use less eggs, definitely you're cooking it, so you can choose what you want. But I have in here a dozen eggs. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my Vitamix. So while I'm preparing the dish, it'll be mixing up the eggs for me. So let me go ahead and put this on the blender, and then we're going to start setting up the egg. Okay, I have it going, and you're more than welcome to whip the eggs with your hands. I just use my Vitamix because I have it, and I pretty much use it for everything that when I do a lot of my mixings. Okay, so what I do is I have olive oil here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on, and you can measure it up, put like maybe 2 tablespoons on, but I just like to make sure I get it all the way around so that it doesn't stick to my pan. And I make sure I get the edges too, because the eggs are going to rise as they cook. So I just make sure I grease it well. And I use olive oil. You're more than welcome to use butter, or if you have vegetable oil. I just like to use olive oil. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up right here, and I'm going to put in half of the bag. And remember, it's a 2-pound bag. Alright, so open it up. And then what I do is I go all the way to where it starts, figure out where half is, and then I just pour it in. And the other half of it, I can be able to make a whole new other breakfast with it. So I'll get this and just put it aside. And then I just smooth it out. And my oven's ready. That was with the beeping that you heard. It's at 450, so as soon as I'm done with this, I can go ahead and put it in. So there, that's layered. If you want more potatoes, again, remember, I can't stress it enough, you're cooking it so you can make it exactly the way you want to make it. So that's done there. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is put in some kale. So let me measure that out. Okay, what I have here is basically 1/4 of a cup of kale. You don't have to use all of it, you can use a little less. But the main thing, you want to just make sure you evenly distribute it over the meal. And it doesn't have a strong taste at all. It's really good. The main thing is it really does make it so that you have kind of like the whole Dr. Seuss, the green eggs and ham. Instead of ham, it's, you know, sausage. And I go ahead and put it all in. Basically, that was 1/4 of a cup of the kale. Well, actually, is it kale? Yep, it is kale. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my sausage over it. And this is a 1.5 cups. What I did was I got a log from Sam's, the big roll that you can be able to get. There's the 1/2 pound. I'm not sure how many is in it, but it's the one where, let me finish and then I can show you with my hands. I believe it's a 3-pound log. So what I do is I just split it in half. I don't have one to show you, but basically the gist of it all, this is 1.5 cups of sausage. And you just put it all the way around. And if you want more meat, put it in. If you want less, put in less. And I don't put any salt or anything on it because I'm trying to cut back from the salt, because I'm thinking the salt, we already get enough of it from the sausage. So now that's all done. All I need to do now is just put the egg over it and then go right into the oven. When I was blending it in the Vitamix, I had it on setting 1, but it is well blended. And I just kind of start on the edges first. But that's just what I do right now. You definitely can do it any way you want to. You just want to make sure that you get the egg all over. And if you want to make this a smaller meal, you can use like maybe like a 9-inch cake pan. You can do it that way too if you're not cooking for a lot of people. Even if you're not cooking for a lot of people, if you don't mind, what you can be able to do is still make it in big batches like the way I have it right here. Because me and my family will eat this all for breakfast. But if it's even just for yourself, you can be able to make this, and then after it's done, you can be able to cut pieces off of it, and you can be able to individually bag it in either a plastic saran wrap, or you could be able to put it inside of a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. And then the day before, every day that you get one, grab it and take another one out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator. And just keep doing that until you run out. So it's just a quick meal. It's a grab and go as well. Anything can be a grab and go. Just set it up so that you can be able to easily have it. I'm just going to give it a quick toss. But here it is. This is basically done. I don't need to do anything else. I'm going to put it in the oven and I'm going to check back in on it at around 16 minutes. Here it is. I just took it out the oven. I let it go longer than what I normally would let it go because I kind of forgot about it. I wasn't paying attention to the timer. But basically what I was saying as far as setting, you just kind of poke it a little bit. If you see some juices coming out, egg, not done yet. Keep put in there for a couple more minutes, like 1 or 2 more minutes, and just check on it. This is nice and firm. This is done. Another indicator is on the sides. It's brown around the sides. So now what I'm going to do is I have the cheese here. And again, you can put on as much as you like. But me, I just put it all the way around it. But you see the kale, it's a nice, beautiful green color. So it's nice and you're getting good stuff for your family. And they're eating it right in the morning, which is really nice and good for everyone. So I just line it on up. And the cool thing about the cheese too, it makes it so it's easy slices. Nice size. Oops. And I just put it over it. And this is where I was meaning, where if you make it like this, even if it's just for you and your friends or family, for whoever you're cooking for, and there's no way you guys are going to eat all this, you can just, as soon as it's done, you can just slice it. And this is already giving you a good indicator of how you're supposed to cut it. And then you can just individually bag it. And again, I'm not doing that because my family, we're probably going to eat all this today. And I put it all on it. Because everybody wants some cheese. And again, you're making it for your target audience. If you don't want this much cheese, please don't put that much on it. Alright, so there we go. And it's already starting to melt, which is great. Push that down so I can get on there. There. So that's done. And if you're eating it right now, let's say you're about to eat it. Right now everyone's at the table and you guys are ready to eat. You can just put it right back in the oven because it's still hot. And put it in there for like 2 minutes and that'll melt all the cheese and then you guys can just go for it. But they're not going to eat this until I made this a little earlier. We just finished with dinner, but I'm making this ahead of time so I can be able to sleep in for the day. Well, not for the day, but you know, so I can sleep in for a little later. So that's done. You can be able to put some sour cream on it if you want to. You can eat it just like this. Again, it's versatile. You can do it however you want to do it. But this is basically it. And this is what it looks like. And it's basically done. Now, on behalf of your friends, family, and loved ones, I always like to say at the end of my videos, thank you so much for using your valuable time to make such great, delicious food that goes inside of our mouths, and for caring enough to use your time to do this for us. Thank you so much. Take care, and God bless. One more thing before I let you go. I just took a slice out, so just in case if you want to see what it kind of looks like, I cut it. And you see, because I put the oil on it, it just basically came right on out. I can get it on out. That's why I like to put definitely enough on there. But here's the slice right here, and here it is from an angle. So it's very delicious. I'm not hungry right now, so I'm not going to even taste it. But this is what it looks like, and it's good stuff for your family. So again, on behalf of your friends, family, and loved ones, thank you so much. Take care and God bless.